Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, with 80 entries, hosting the Pepsi PWBA Lincoln Open. The Shadows, the University of Nebraska. The Memorial Stadium, Big Ten country now. And Kelly, some other finishers, including Stephanie Johnson.
Yeah, Stephanie Johnson, winner last year on the ladies tour on the shorter patterns. Rocio Restrepo, Diana Zavalova has been contender trying to knock down the door herself. Danielle McEwen made the telecast at the Queens. Tanya Rumpier, Carolyn Doran Ballard, just to name a few.
Great to see John Lucido here, proprietor at Sun Valley Lanes. A fantastic host for this event. We appreciate all the help from John and his great staff.
John was on the task force who was an advocate for the ladies tour coming back, so we owe him a great deal of thanks.
We've got ourselves a match here. 22-pin lead. Liz Johnson looks for the four-bagger. Sixth frame. 4 strikes for Liz already in the match. Wants to go up 32 pins. It's high, almost crossed over for a Brooklyn strike, and a 6-pin stands.
Long time after that commercial break. Having to get up, be loose again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, gets tall at the foul line. Elbow gets a little bit outside the bowling ball, misses left of her target. And on a short pattern, you cannot miss left.
Takes care of the spare, stays clean, but misses on an opportunity to expand the lead. Clara doesn't need a lot of room the way she's been bowling this season. Get right back in the match. She'll step up in the 7th, working on a strike.
Yeah, and Liz right now definitely a contender to repeat as player of the year out here on tour for the 2016 season. 3rd telecast so far.
Light hit, washout, 1, 2, 8, 10. What happened?
Well, there's a couple things. She's in the same zone, but now Clara's left of her. She's inside. She's getting to push the oil down the lane a little bit more. She's about the same break point, a little bit farther to the right. She's been over here a little bit more. But again, Clara is pushing a little bit oil down the lane, getting a hang spot. So, in my opinion, it might be time to make a ball change, go something more aggressive, get a little bit left so she could be on top of Clara's lane play herself.
Not an easy cover here. Can't do it. The 10 stands an open frame. And isn't it interesting, in the Players' Championship final in Green Bay, her 6th frame was open. Here it's 7th. Later in the match, that could really spell trouble for Liz Johnson.
Yeah, cross angle at the spare itself. You want to hit left of that head pin. She did everything correctly, just didn't get the bounce off the rail to pick up the 10 pin. Ouch.
Liz is not very emotional. That's about as much as you'll see from her. Now the door is opening here for Guerrero. Can she take advantage? You bet. That's how you respond. That's what a champion does. The double, 6th and 7th to cut in that lead.
And again, so Clara's playing deeper inside than Liz is. She's sliding about 19, 10, 11 at the arrows, getting it to the same break point. So that oil, she's pushed a little bit further right for Liz, doesn't have quite as much hold, or she has hold, but it's creating a little more skid for Liz to the right.
Just a moment ago, Liz was on the verge of a 32-pin lead. Now Guerrero can take the lead. And the 8th frame looks for the turkey.
Her husband Josh sitting behind her watching in the stands. It's got to push.
It does. Help on the 4.
Wow. Boy, when you've got momentum.
Back jacks.
Yep. This one slightly inside of target. 11-12 doesn't get as far right down the lane. You can see it's about 8-9, about 44 feet, but she trips the 4-pin. I think that fist is in the same position every single time she strikes and catches that break.
Can Liz recover, or is she too shell shocked? There's a strike. That's how you respond. Suddenly trailing.
Yeah, little things as a physical coach looking for. Watching that first step, if her body pops up, But that one definitely on target down the lane. She strikes. She needs to double up here in order to keep the pressure on Clara. Down by 14 pins going in the 9th frame. Every now and then on that first step, her body pops up a little bit. When she stays down a little bit lower, she's through the shot much more consistently. Just like that.
Wow. That's a much better delivery to the 1-3 pocket and cuts it to a 4-pin deficit. Foundation frame strike for Liz Johnson.
Boy, I've watched Liz bowl many, many times, but Shannon O'Keefe is waiting in the side wings. We'll meet the winner of this match number 2. Will it be Clara or Liz?
Shannon has won 1 title already this year on tour. Guerrero looks for the 4-bagger. Expand the lead. Doesn't hit the pocket though. Keep things interesting.
Yeah, in this match, she's been more solid on the left lane than she has on the right. Seems like there's a little hang spot down the lane on the right, on this right lane. She's not as deep. 18, heel moves off, a little off balance, so she's not as deep. 9 at the arrows, whereas before she was a little bit further inside of that. Way, way right down here. Here's the end of the pattern right down here, so that extra 5 feet pushes the ball, loses energy, but she just leaves the 2-4 spare.
Which she does convert.
She's asking for a re-rack.
How often do you use that?
Been using it more in the last 2 seasons. Sometimes it's just a break to catch your breath and rethink things through. You might see a pin off spot. But Clara 5 for 9, Liz 6 for 9 on strikes. Liz has 1 open, Clara is clean on her spare conversions.
Max score, Clara at 226, Liz Johnson at 234. Things could be very interesting here in the 10th. Guerrero, 4-pin.
She really has been clutch on this left lane too. .10-11 at the arrows, not as quite as far right out at about 44 feet. Ball just picks up a little soon. High pocket hit, 4-pin. She'll go to that hard plastic spare ball. Straighter's greater towards the spare. See if she can stay clean.
Has the 4, has her mark. Well, Liz Johnson will have a chance to step up and win this.
Yes, she will. She's going to have to strike on her first ball, depending on what Clara has on this fill ball. If she gets 9 or more, she forces. Liz will have to strike regardless.
So we are building toward a dramatic finish. Big count's important here, and 9.
Regardless, Liz will have to strike on this first delivery.
214 for Clara.
Great shot right here. You have that yellow pin on the ball. Sideways, rolls forward. 6-pin just wrapped around the 10, but great score. Again, forcing Liz. She needs the first one in the 10th here.
One of the best bowlers of all time, the reigning player of the year, the Hall of Famer, has gotten to that point, those accolades, because of moments like this. Strike and 6 to win. Gotta have it. Liz Johnson doesn't get it.
2-pin.
The 2-pin stands. And
Well,
Clara Guerrero is going to win on the bench.
Yep, she went high the last 2 times on that lane.
Had to have that strike. And Liz Johnson, the 3 seed, could not convert, so Clara Guerrero will move on to the championship. Shannon O'Keefe awaits Clara. Great match coming your way next. Clara Guerrero gets to the championship match to take on Shannon O'Keefe. 2-14, 2-12 winner over Liz Johnson. Liz, part of the Smithfield moment of the match. 10th frame, needed this strike. +6 in the 10th to win it, but instead leaves the 2-pin and does not advance. In today's episode of the USBC Bowling Academy, Brian O'Keefe explains to Carolyn Doran Ballard the mystique of being behind a stronger ball.
Coach, how we really see the lane and what bowling balls we use on certain patterns really has a lot to do with how we see the lane, isn't it?
Yeah, that brings up a great point, Carolyn. And overall, we deal with a lot of people coming in here for a lesson and coming into the pro shop for a new bowling ball, and they'll say, you know, Coach Brian, I want a stronger ball. I want a stronger ball. And I really have to take a step back and really look at what do they mean by that.
All right, so let's take a look at the difference between stronger bowling balls and weaker bowling balls and actually how they can read the lane front to back.
So here we have Steven throwing ball number 1, and you can see this ball takes a pretty direct line straight out almost to the gutter and then makes a hard turn from right to left back to the pocket. This ball covered more boards from right to left, but yet it was saving all of its energy just for the last 15 or 20 feet or so. So technically, this would be a weaker type bowling ball. Here we have Steven throwing ball number 2, and you can see this ball has more shape to it throughout the whole lane. It's actually using much of its energy much earlier, and therefore it's not saving as much energy for the back end and hooking throughout the whole lane. That's what would technically make this a stronger bowling ball.
Brian, it's amazing that people do react to the fact of when they see that ball and make that motion to the pocket, they think their ball is stronger, but wow, that mid lane and that earlier roll really do make a difference.
Yeah, that's right, Carolyn. I can't reiterate it enough that the better players in this world all read the lane front to back. And unfortunately, a lot of the intermediate players and even advanced players, but not quite at that elite level, they see that ball make a big motion or a big change of direction from right to left or right, depending, and they really equate that to overall ball strength. Where we want to equate overall ball strength is to how early it is, whether it's reading the lane on the front part of the lane or the middle part of the lane, or whether it's saving all that energy to the back part of the lane.
That's another great tip. When you're out there practicing and you're with your coach, make sure to ask questions, and also when you're going in to drill a new ball, make sure it's going to fit your arsenal.
Great teaching points. Thank you to Carolyn and Brian. USBC Bowling Academy provides hundreds of hours of high-quality instructional videos for bowlers of all skill levels. Learn from Team USA and USBC certified goal coaches, as well as other top pros and instructors. Visit USBCBowlingAcademy.com today for more information. Brian's wife, Shannon O'Keefe, is ready to go against Clara Guerrero. Championship match is coming up next.